Native people, Native culture, Native knowledge. Hi, I'm Jeannie Green, bringing you award-winning Heartbeat Alaska.
Bringing you national and international Native news, this is award-winning Heartbeat Alaska, the premier Native voice in Native programming.
There's a heartbeat, louder than thunder, revolution is in the air. There's a heartbeat deep inside our mother. Are you too cool?
Now, with Heartbeat Alaska, here's Jeannie Green.
Hello, welcome to Heartbeat Alaska, Native News and Native Entertainment. I'm Jeannie Green. Hello, Canada. Nice to have you with us. Hello, Alaska. And thank you, Brad Anguson from Levelok, Alaska. Thanks to him, today we visit Levelok, Alaska, a Yupik village, and learn about their endeavors to fight alcohol and drug abuse in their village. And we also learn on part 3 of Taking Charge, we learn all about inhalants. We have all that plus much more. Don't go away. I'll be right back.
Contact Heartbeat Alaska with your news. Heartbeat Alaska, 5861 Arctic Boulevard, Unit B, Anchorage, Alaska, 99518. That's Heartbeat Alaska, 5861 Arctic Boulevard, Unit B, Anchorage, Alaska, 99518. Or give us a call at 1-907-563-7440 or fax us at 1-907-563-9309. Heartbeat Alaska, your news is our news.
Welcome back. This week we take a look at part 3, Taking Charge. We look at inhalants. And what are inhalants? Inhalants are substances which produce mind-altering and behavioral changes in the abuser. Inhalant abuse, it's drug abuse.
Inhalants are substances which produce mind-altering and behavioral changing effects. There are some 1,200 chemical products for industrial and household use that have been abused by sniffers, sometimes with disastrous results. Inhalant abuse is drug abuse. At first, the user may sniff only occasionally, then more frequently, until it becomes a habit, and the person is unable to stop. The symptoms of inhalant intoxication are similar to alcohol intoxication. Sometimes visual and auditory hallucinations occur as well.
Inhaled chemical fumes are rapidly absorbed by the lungs. From there, they enter the bloodstream, and from the bloodstream out of the heart into the mind and the organs of the body.
I'd like to tell you a story about me and a couple of my friends. I had a friend, he never tried huffing before, so I thought I'd take him down to the bridge with me. I had some gasoline with me, so I already tried it, so I showed my friend how. I put it on a rag, and I made him put it up on his mouth like this. So he tried it, so about a few minutes later, I looked over and saw my friend laying on the floor, on the ground. I rushed over to see him, and he was turning colors, blue, like purplish. So I start running up to find the first house I can see. I knocked on a door and I seen the old grouchy man there. He asked what I wanted, so I asked if he could call the ambulance for me. So he called the ambulance for me, so I ran back down to the bridge. I looked at my friend. He didn't look like he was very good. So the ambulance got there. They checked him. They checked him. They said they couldn't do nothing for him. He's already gone. So his family is getting mad. And I said I didn't do. I started to feel sad about that. I couldn't bring my friend back. He was gone. That was the last time I saw him. wish I never asked him to do that with me. I could have still had my friend.
If you're using inhalants, now is the time to stop. Inhalant abuse kills. We are not here to condemn you, but to inform you. Parents, look out for these items. Youth, look out for one another. Let's attack this killer of our youth. Looking out for one another and educating each other.
The many problems that confronts us today is of our own choosing. Tragically, that is the stark reality we face today. Many of our young people in the grade school go through a phase of trying to get an artificial high. I think back to a time when I worked in the hospital. A young boy was in there with many raw areas on his body and was weeping. Drainage was terrific out of under his armpits and other vital areas, and he wouldn't tell how this came about. Finally, we asked him, "What did you do so this came about?" And he explained that it was through gasoline. He would buy a gallon of gasoline, and then he would pour out half of it, and then he'd use the remainder to inhale. And we asked him, "What did that do to you?" "Well, you get a terrific high for a few moments, and then after a while, the effect of destroying my body came about." So we asked him, "How come you do this?" And he said, "Nobody loves me." It was a shocker. One of the best things that a person should have and should teach his children was neglected. Nobody loves me. But if you are content to do what our people are doing in destroying themselves, as I've said, the price comes too high. You are given a mind to develop. And like all of us who understand the meaning of a circle, life was meant to be fully lived in according to what you wish to accomplish.
I dreamed I saw a crazy horse riding through the Badlands. He was wild and brave and free. I swear I heard the cries of the innocent victims in the wind and wounded knee. And there's a trail of tears we could follow. Can you hear the footsteps of the Cherokee? It's a trail of broken promises. Will you walk this trail with me? We can find America down the trail of freedom. Walk the way of my fathers from sea to sea. Oh, can you find America? Hear the drums of freedom. Gonna find it together. I felt the Chippewa wind off Lake Michigan on a cold Chicago day. I heard the thunder roll for the Seminole way down in the Everglades. And I've seen it in the beauty of a Navajo girl, like a flower in the desert heat. I felt it in the pride of a Cheyenne dancer as he moves to an ancient beat. Oh, can you find America down a trail of freedom? Walk the way of my fathers from sea to sea. Yeah, we can find America, hear the drums of freedom. Gonna find it together, walk this trail. Walk the trail with me. I walked the streets of Gallup, New Mexico on a Saturday night. I watched my brothers fall to the alcohol. They were going down without a fight. Hey brothers, we must walk with the pride of Chief Joseph, have the courage of Geronimo. Trail, it's long, so you have to be strong just to find your way back home. And we can find America down the trail of freedom, walk the way of my fathers from sea to sea. Oh, can you find America? Hear the drums of freedom. Gonna find it together, walk this trail. Walk the trail with me.
Do you want to live under the control of drugs, of alcohol, of inhalants, or do you want to be in control, free?
Let's take a look at a fish camp, a spirit camp, designed to promote a healthy, free lifestyle. Since 1989, they've been meeting on the banks of the Yukon River. Youth Survivors began as a 5-year pilot program, began by Rural CAP, Rural Alaska Community Action Program. Aimed at youth at risk, this camp has since been continued by the Fort Yukon Native Village. Teaching traditional values and spirituality is a focus of this camp. The youth fish, build cabins, and fish wheels. The setting is familiar to natives. Fish camps have been a native tradition for thousands of years.
Everything was off the land. We had no pop, we had no chips. For fruit, we had lots of berries.
And fish. Around June of every year, when the ice is gone and king salmon start running, natives pack their bags, load up their boat, and head out to fish camp. survivors camp is open all summer. It's located 6 miles downriver from the village of Fort Yukon. Great-grandfathers of these youth carry on their tradition through elders like 84-year-old David Sam. He demonstrated the old ways, like using a rain stopper, a method ancestors used to chase the clouds away. How their forefathers killed grizzlies.
Bear just come down for us here. You know, like this. And never come down. If it slides down, it's just going to bite you. So, just protection, you know.
And what the arrows feel and look like. All handmade from the memory of David Salmon.
I made that deal.
Traveling to camp, a way of life for many Alaska Natives, a means of survival, food for the winter. For these Native youths, it's food for the soul. Now, from the Yukon River in Alaska, we travel west to Moosehide, Canada, for another one of their wellness gatherings. Held every 2 years, the gathering began in 1992. The Gwich'in come from Canada and Alaska to learn from each other, keeping alive the tradition of people who have occupied interior Alaska and Canada for 1,000 generations. Fiddling and jigging, adopted by the Athabascans, has become a mainstay in their culture and is present at most gatherings. This year, once again, the gathering met at Moosehide, Canada.
Well, I say, you know what you need money for? I want to buy a boat. And then I'm going to get husband. Susie always worried about husband. Wherever we go, Susie looks for a husband. Can you sit her in one place? He's going to find you. She's so busy running around, man can't find her. Here I sit down, I cook. I have a club man away. I'm not Susie. I'm Sarah. I'm not the one looking for a husband. You just sit down. I tell you, don't listen.
Susie and Sarah, two Athabascan comedians, added their own brand of humor to the Moosehide gathering. Their portrayal of Native elders brought laughter with their homegrown sense of humor.
Starve to death, I guess. She say you eat with one blanket, and maybe you're lucky you come along, he's got no blankets, he got to share it with you. That's what Stella Jim said. That's a funny kind of way, I don't know.
The Moosehide gathering brought people all the way from Athabascan territories such as the Northwest Territory, from Moose River, from Whitehorse, from Old Crow, from Alaska, from Tanacross, Tok, Tetlin, Tagish, and also featured dancers, the Sleeping Lady Singers, and the Miracle Dancers from Alaska. another native tradition, stick game, a form of gambling, a popular game among natives across America along the northwest coast, throughout Alaska and Canada. It's a native tradition of gambling, played along with accompaniment to drumming and singing. After the 1996 Moosehide celebration is over, visitors from Alaska head home, stepping from one country into another. Borders cannot keep tradition from crossing one area to another, however. Cultures echo across the land, as it has for centuries.
They want to do everything for Sarah and Susie. They want to write song for us, everything. See, they crazy? They want Sarah and Susie's song. We said, no, never mind, we got the song already. It's called Wake Up Little Susie.
From Canada, we travel back to Alaska. Nuchek Island at the entrance to Prince William Sound once flourished with activity. It was one of the busiest places in the region. The Chugach people settled here because of the abundance of fish and sea mammals. Athabascan Indians from the north and Tlingit Indians from the east met at Nuchek to trade and feast. The island's protected harbor, only a few miles off the open waters of the Gulf of Alaska, at the western end of Ninchenbrook Island, made it a popular anchorage for foreign explorers.
The energy and the care to take care of these probably would have been lost. And people have been maintaining these for over a long period of time, and they're slowly coming back together here.
At one time, nearly 2,000 natives lived in this area. Then the Russians came, hunting sea otters, and around 1793 built Fort St. Constantine at Nuchek. Spiked wooden posts and 9 cannons protected the Russian traders, while natives lived outside the stockade in semi-subterranean dwellings. The Chugach at Nuchek adapted to Russian ways, adopted Russian religion, and defended the Russians against Tlingit war parties. But Russian traders nearly wiped out the sea otters, and deadly diseases brought by foreigners nearly decimated the natives. John Johnson of Chugach Heritage Foundation says it's time to reclaim the land.
I always got a kick when the very first explorers came to this area. The Spanish came in and put a flag saying, we'll claim this area for Spain. The British came in and we'll claim this area for England. The Russians, on an island over here, buried a large bronze plate with a double-headed eagle claiming all of Alaska for the Russian Empire. And the people out back here are out here to reclaim their heritage.
Reclaiming their heritage, the goal of the Nuchek Spirit Camp.
Portland me, Portland me,
Last year marked the first year the camp was attempted. It was a success, and they brought it back again this year. The organizers of the Spirit Camp have decided that the history and the archaeological evidence should be part of the learning process. Archaeologists are cataloging the prehistoric villages, the camps, rock art, the fish traps, artifacts scattered around the area, and many other sites that contain irreplaceable information about the past.
These red bricks right here is on the other end of the island. The Russians and the Aleuts had a Russian brick-making factory. They'd process and manufacture their own bricks here. Those are all plankings of the house there. These are all the posts for the foundation. This corner right here is a big concentration of fire-cracked rocks for the steam bath. That was their main source of for cleanliness out here is the good old steam bath. You can see up on the top of this roof.
This is a stone lamp that we found at the east side of Nuchek Island here in Prince William Sound. As you can see, it came from the lower intertidal area, the barnacle zone.
Wooden artifacts more than 1,500 years old were discovered in the intertidal zone of the Prince William Sound in 1990 during Exxon's Site Identification and Monitoring Program. The artifacts were preserved when the land on which they rested sank rapidly, probably as a result of earth movements associated with the major earthquake. The 1964 earthquake reversed the process and raised the elevation of the beach, revealing wood and fiber artifacts that were later collected. The Nuchek Spirit Camp emphasizes preserving and honoring their culture by learning about it, by teaching the youth subsistence, traditional knowledge, by sharing the knowledge of the elders from ages past.
Thank you so much for joining us on Heartbeat Alaska. I'm Jeannie Green. Join us next week as we do part 4 of Taking Charge. Let's take a look at bingo and how it affects your village, good or bad. I'm Jeannie Green. God bless you. Have a fabulous week, and we'll see you again next week.
Rusty Buckets is a Johnson family pet, and he intends to stay that way, running off any intruders from his territory. Bears walking the streets of Angoon, Alaska is a rather unusual sight. It's a good chance for locals to take some pictures, get out the old camera and take advantage of the bears right in their front yard. Well, maybe some other time.
We got you guys that video running.
That's Rusty down there.
Rusty Buckets is a pretty brave dog. However, black bears can be dangerous, and they're very capable of killing humans and dogs.
Swiping, he's gonna be hurting.